I want to make a video real fast, just kind of talking about some things that happened in the market today and maybe some ways that we can kind of adjust with them. Um, so, one of the things that I've talked to a lot of people about is we want to make sure that we don't take trades that do not have enough room for us to reach our profit target. Our profit target, of course, being minimum of 1 to 2 risk to reward, which means that if our average risk is about 2 points, our average take profit needs to be at least 4. I found this entry here today that I was anticipating a reversal here, and I'll go over why I anticipated it in a second. But I have this channel working down, and I start to notice a few things. We have a small range, we have another leg down that's real small, we have a double bottom, and if you're looking to be short here, it's not necessarily a bad idea. However, we are very close to the low of the day, and we don't really have enough room to make a very good scalp here. And, if we look over here on the 5-minute, this is where we are on the 5-minute, and we say, okay, well, let's see kind of what's happening here. We had a channel, a range, another channel. This is going to be a measured move, second entry. Here, measures here. See that we're right at the measured move on a 5-minute chart. We're also relatively far away from the 20 EMA here, especially compared to what it's been for quite a while, basically since yesterday. So, and if you also consider yesterday's bull move, which, if you really are paying really good attention to the market, then you would have probably called that climactic bar in a bear channel. And if you did, of course, that you were, proven today that you were correct on that assumption. You would anticipate that there would likely be some form of a strong move up somewhat early on, before it likely getting rejected and going down. So this might be it. We have a measured move, far away from the 20 EMA. On the 5-minute, you're going to hope that we at least get back to it. Here's the problem though. If I'm looking to take this long, I do have a second entry. I have two options really. I can enter on a bear trap, which means that I'm not taking any sort of a short entry at the channel line. I've already decided beforehand I'm not looking to do that. I think it's going to reverse, so I'm looking for an excuse to be long here. So what I'm really looking for originally is a bear trap. However, it happens here. We have our first entry short, this bar right here, our pullback, our second entry short here. If I'm going to take this trap, I'm going to put my long entry here and my stop loss here. What am I risking on this trade? Let's see what I'm risking. I'm risking about 5.5 points. That is a lot of risk for a 2000 tick chart, and it's certainly something I'm not very interested in. However, remember that we can and really should count bull legs at the same time. And if we're counting bull legs, at the same time here, then let's count them. 1, 2, 1, and 2. We have a nice little long entry. And it's not bad because we're right around the channel line here, which is a place where bulls might be buying. We have this big bear bar with no follow through to it. 2 bars now where we have no bear follow through. We attempted to reach the low of the day, but we missed it by 1 tick. So we know that bulls are likely buying. Both of these are great signal bars, quite frankly. And then the move up happens extremely, extremely quickly. Now here's the problem with this trade. First off, let's find out our general risk. 2.25 points is certainly within our risk parameters. What about our profit target here? 3 points, maybe 2 3/4, just kind of depending. So we don't really have a high profit target, and if we're going for a bar body, then we have even less of a profit target. We only have 2 points. So it kind of it's not fun, really, because you're looking at the charts and you find this awesome setup and you say, well, I'd really like to take this trade, but I can't because it just doesn't leave enough room. Well, there is a way that you can take it, and I'll show you how you do it. For me personally, when I took this trade, unfortunately, you can see my entry and my exit. I saw it a little bit late, and I could not get my order up in time, so I entered late. And that was my entry here, but we really want to enter in here. Where's our profit target? We're going to say it's the very high of the range here. And where is our stop loss? Stop loss is going to be down here. We can make these pretty colors real quick just to give a good demonstration. And this will be our take profit here. So this is our entry, our take profit, and our stop loss. As we're watching this move go up, and we say, you know, we want to take this trade because it's a good setup, but our profit target is too small. Well, what's another option that we can do? Well, we can bet on a new high. And in this case, we go back to the 5-minute chart, we can see that it's very likely that we're going to have some kind of a major pullback before we resume the channel. And there is actually a channel here. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Just drawn something like this originally. So we're also at the bottom of the channel line. It is technically counter trend. With that being said, though, it had a lot of room to move up. We go back to our 2000 tick chart. If we're entering here on a stop order, as soon as price reaches this green line here, we can simply take our stop loss and move it 1 tick above our position. And if we move it 1 tick above, this accounts for any form of commission that we have to pay. So we can take it and we can make it exactly break even. If you did that, then it would be a losing trade if it were hit, because even though you only pay a few dollars in commissions, you still lost a few dollars. If you keep it at least 1 tick above your entry point, then you'll make at least a few dollars. At least won't be a losing trade. It's completely up to you, really, in the situation that you're in, about where you want to put it. In a situation like this, if we want to bet on a new high, which we pretty much have to in order to maintain a positive traders ratio, we can do that. We just have to move our stop up quickly. As soon as it hits the same level, meaning this bar right here, as soon as this hits, we take our stop, we move it from down here, we move it to break even +1, and at this point we just let it go. We can almost just forget about a profit target. And then how do we trail? Each pullback. Trail here. Next pullback trails here. And we're eventually stopped out here. Now for me, unfortunately, because I entered late, I did get stopped out break even. and we can see that here, my late entry. And once it hit the top here on this bar, I moved to break even +1, and unfortunately was just hit. If I had entered where I would like to have entered, I would have been able to actually make a very, very nice winner. Let's see how much that would have been. It's always fun to see what you could have made, right? Let's see. Just a quick 10 3/4. Not a big deal, right? It's not a big deal. I have another example here later on when we went to go short. I knew this was not going to be a complete reversal. It's just a pullback, really. Remember, yesterday was climactic. Today we're expecting a failed push up. It's got to retest the highs at some point. It's going to retest something. So in this case, it was not necessarily obvious exactly what it would retest, but with this big bullish push up, we can probably anticipate pretty much just straight bear action the rest of the day. So here I have this channel that I unfortunately missed, and I see it's gone up, and I see it's broken, and I'm anticipating this to fail somewhere. And so what I'm really looking for here is a second entry long trap. Well, I really didn't get it. There's a first entry here, and I don't get a second entry until down here, not the preferable place. I was really hoping for a double top lower high, or just to see if bulls would try to fade around the 20 EMA and I could take the trap down here, and let's just say if I was able to enter there, low of the day, profit target being 10 points, it would have been a really nice trade. Unfortunately, I did not get that. First entry long, I did not get another entry long until here. What's the problem with this trade? Well, my risk, 2 3/4. That's not bad. It's certainly something that I can trade, but does it yield a positive traders ratio? This is the low of the day at the time, 2 1/4 points. It does not yield it. So I'm looking at this trade and I'm just saying, man, I really can't take this, except if we do what I had just demonstrated a second ago, we can take this. We just have to be extremely careful about it. So let's go back to the old lines. I'm just going to use these again. My entry was here. Had a pretty good entry this time. Stop loss was here. And in this case, I also had a take profit of 4 points. Right in here. So I'm taking this, I'm betting on a new low. As soon as this bar touches the new low, I'm going to immediately take my stop loss and move it to break even plus 1 tick. And you can see I almost got stopped out here. I was really, really, really close. I was just a tick away from getting stopped out, but just hold on to it, let it go. You're either going to make a new low and you're going to have a winning trade, or you're going to break even pretty quickly. If the market decides to reverse on you here, you'll be able to break even. If the market continues to fall, then you will be able to catch that as well. This isn't really a technique that I suggest you use a lot, but if you find that the market keeps giving you really good setups without good profit targets, it is something that you can use. You just have to be very diligent and watch. As soon as it hits the profit target, if this is the case, then the profit target is the low of the day here. If it hits that, then you have to move to break even immediately. And then If you're lucky, then the market will just keep on going. And worst case scenario, if you hit the original profit target, you move to break even, you have nothing to lose. So if you're a beginner trader, I probably wouldn't really bother with this strategy. But after you've been trading for a while and you're relatively familiar with your settings and how to move your orders, then by all means jump in there every now and then and make a trade like this.